If objections scare you, then you won't be closing very many sales. Today, I'm going to share my objections handling PowerPoint to take the fear out of objections and help you close more sales. Now, I had a client just this last week, Morgan, tell me that using what she learned in this exact PowerPoint, she was able to nearly double her sales. Now, if you like this content, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you get notified by the little notification bell in the corner every time we roll out new content. Of course, make sure to like this video and comment with any thoughts or questions that you've got about this content. All right, so let's dive in. I'm just going to give you a little bit of an overview, and of course you will be able to find a link in the description box below this video so that you can get this exact objections handling PowerPoint and use it for yourself on your next sales calls. So let's just dive in. So the first objection that you get the most often is typically a money objection. Now, what we want to do with a money objection, or really any objection, is we want to isolate the actual objection being given. We want to make sure that it's the true objection. Most of the time, when somebody's telling you they don't have the money or they can't afford it or it's too much, it's not because they don't have the money, it's because they're not actually fully sold. So one of the things we want to do with a money objection is ask questions. This is really how we want to handle any objections, and if you've watched any of our other videos, you've probably seen me talk about how important handling objections really is and using questions to handle them. And in fact, one of the things that I've shared with you is that there really only are three real objections. There is the literal living under a bridge, and just there's absolutely no way that they can rub two nickels together. That does happen. It's rare. Most of the time when you hear any kind of excuse around money, it's really that they're not fully sold. But the two real objections that you're going to get most often are that either they don't believe it's possible for them, they don't believe in themselves, they don't have confidence in themselves that they can get that result that you're offering to help them with, or they don't believe in you. They're not fully sold that you can help them get that result. Now, a big part of handling objections is making sure that you get what you need in the uncover portion of the call, in your understanding of the problem that they're experiencing, what it's costing them, the consequences of not taking action, their doubts about their ability to solve it. That's the area where you really need to dig, because if you don't have everything that you need, then you can't connect the dots for them on how your offer is different and help them see the shifts they need to make to get the results. And so if you don't have those things, then all the objection handling in the world is not going to help you. But assuming you've watched some of our other trainings and you've gotten clear on what you need to do in order to have what you need to enroll the person into your program, to make the sale, to handle the objections, if you've gotten to that place and you've done it well, then using this PowerPoint slide will really help you. So I'll go over a few of these, but obviously the slide itself really does speak to everything that you need to do to make sure that you're handling these objections. So when the money objection comes up, we isolate the objection. And I like to ask three questions. Aside from the money, is there any other reason that you wouldn't do this? Now, almost always they'll say, no, it's just the money. Now, if we leave it there, then we assume that money is the true objection. But then we ask, is it your goal to work with us, to be in the program and have achieved X, Y, Z? Lose the 100 pounds, get your business to $10,000 a month, whatever the offer is that you're trying to enroll them into. So we want to ask that, and usually they'll say, yeah, that is my goal. Great. So what are your concerns about getting started is the third question. Now, the funny thing is, a lot of times you'll ask this third question and they'll say something like, well, I just don't know if there's enough one-on-one support. Well, then it's not a money objection. They're not fully sold. So we've now narrowed it down that we don't need to handle the money objection. We could sit there and try to, help them find the money and find the finances and all of that. But if truly they're not sold, they're not going to work with you on that. They're not on the same side of the table as you. So if they are actually saying, yes, it is just the money, yes, it's their goal, and they're only concerned about getting started is finding the money, then you can really go into what I like to use is feel, felt, found. Now, you don't want to just do this verbatim, but it's just a way to remember the concept. So I totally understand how you feel. In fact, many of our clients felt the same way. But what we have found is that they needed to do the program because everything they tried, they haven't been able to lose the weight. They haven't been able to get fit. They've always found themselves procrastinating, and they needed the guidance to show them how to get past that. And that's exactly what we've outlined with you that we're going to do. And that's exactly why you need this. You never have to struggle with the procrastination and the weight again. Right? So we want to use that feel, felt, found. So there's as you go through this PowerPoint, there's different objections for both money for lifestyle offers like weight loss. There's objections like on the previous slide for more of a business offer. And as you go through this, you'll see that we just keep going on each of these objections. So we use future pace with them. We walk them through each of these steps. We've got the debt objection. Oh, I really want to do this. I could put it on a credit card, but I really don't feel comfortable doing that because I don't like debt. You'll hear that often. So, we've got some objections around that. What about this, putting this on a credit card scares you? Oh, well, I just don't like debt. I totally agree with you. Putting something on a credit card that you have to pay for 10 times is just not good. Now, when you buy things that you don't pay back, that's exactly what you get. When you use a credit card as a loan to leverage money, that's a different story because you're trying to get a result for something. So we go through each of these. Cash flow, I need to think about it. The spouse objection, risk. Oh, it's just too risky. I can't make an investment that big. What if it doesn't work for me? Trust, like I don't know you. What do you say when they say that at the end of a call? Well, gosh, it sounds great, but I don't know you to spend that kind of money to work with you. I need references. I want to talk to a client. How do you handle that? I need proof. What is it that you're concerned about when they ask that question, right? Because there's something else going on. So again, we're always asking questions with these objections. So as you go through this PowerPoint, I want you to remember that. You'll get things like, what are your success statistics? What's the guarantee? And then we've got some other objections in here. I like to call this the come to Jesus. This is usually at the very end of the call. You've exhausted every other objection, but you want to go heart to heart and let them know that you want to help them, that you can help them. And this is your sort of last ditch effort to try to get them over the line. And then we go into like getting the deposit, objections around checking with your accountant, shopping somebody else like a potential competitor. They want to see something in writing. Let me make the money and come back. So you'll just see as you go through this document, there's any kind of objection that they can come up with, there's going to be a response for you. Now, the key thing I want you to see as you go through this, and I'm just kind of like scrolling through each of these slides so that you can see, fear, I'm scared is the final one that we've got on here. But it's really important that you understand that the key to handling objections is to ask questions, because oftentimes the objection they tell you is not the real objection. It's not the true thing that's holding them back. And you'll hear some sales trainers say things like buyers are liars. And I hate saying that because I don't think that people mean to lie, but the reality is people buy on emotion. They justify with logic. And so we've got to help people by using these tools for good, by really understanding what the emotional impact of where they're at is and being stuck. And if truly they want this transformation, they want this change, they want this result, they want this outcome, then we have to get them to the place where they've really expressed all of the reasons that they're stuck and all the ways that it affects them. And so we've got to get them to that emotional place where they really realize they're sick of being where they are and they're ready to change it. And if we've done that and we've done it well and we truly understand their why, and we've connected the dots for them on exactly how they're going to get the result with us, with our program, with our offer, our service, and the difference and why they weren't getting it before, then using this objection PowerPoint will help you ask the right questions and allow you to be able to handle those objections. Now, the key thing is questions are number one, and number two, it's really important that you take these as examples and put them in your own words. One of the things about selling authentically is while this can be a guide for you on the energetically how you want to show up when handling these objections, you still need to be authentically you. And if it doesn't feel like you to say something in here, then adjust it so that it does feel like you. Because the moment that you stop being yourself on a sales call is the moment that disconnect between you and the prospect happens, and you will lose them every time. So use this PowerPoint as a guide, right? The next step is to take this, download it, get it in the description box below this video, and then take this and make it your own. And that's what's going to make you successful in handling objections using this objection handling PowerPoint. All right, so if you liked this video, make sure to hit the like button so we know that you enjoyed this content and can create more just like it. Of course, hit the subscribe button if you want to be notified by the little notification bell in the corner. Comment with any thoughts or questions that you've got. Make sure to download the Objection Handling PowerPoint in the description box below. And also, you can click on the link to join our free Facebook group where you can find more content, more free training just like this to help you enroll more clients into your business and close more of your sales calls.